welcome to yet another edition of Politically Correct on TVC. My name is Leangari. Now, the other day we had the Eurobond saga. Now there is yet another saga, the NYS scandal that has led to the implication of the former CS devolution, Anwar Guru, and many other political leaders. Now, the opposition leader has come out strongly, that's Raila Odinga, saying that, this is one of the worst records of corruption in Kenyan history. Of course, now the question is, what exactly is happening in the country? Will the Jubilee government survive? And is there really money that was stolen? These are some of the questions we're seeking to answer in today's edition of Politically Correct. Welcome. You're watching Politically Correct, and with me in studio is a gentleman by the name Jared Saller. Now, Jared Saller is an advocate of the High Court of Kenya, and having been admitted to the bar as an advocate in September 2008, he has 7 years experience in legal practice, and that is our guest today. Thank you so much, Jared, for coming.
Thank you very much, Leah, for having me.
Yes. Now, Jared, we just the other day we had the Eurobond scandal. Now we have the NYS scandal. I think the first question we need to ask is, did stealing of money take place?
Well, it would appear that on the face of it, yes, indeed, public money appears to have been misappropriated to a certain extent. For the reason that although the money paid to various suppliers of the NYS was for services provided, the same appears to have been greatly inflated to benefit a number of people. So yes, we would say public money has been stolen.
How much money would we say?
For the NYS specifically, we are talking of 791 million Kenya shillings paid out to various suppliers for the 2014-2015 financial year.
All right, let's look at these suppliers. We have seen that Josephine Irungu's affidavit indicates that she was told to open up companies which the NYS would fund in terms of projects. Could you tell us more about those projects?
When you look at Josephine's affidavit, which is fairly explosive, she has intimated to the fact that she was under instructions to open up these companies. And initially, it will appear that she did not have an idea as to why the companies were being set up. She was simply instructed to take a copy of her national identification card, a copy of her KRA PIN, and passport photographs to an individual's house, and instructed that the same will be used to open up companies. It is at that point that she was being informed of the reason as to why she was bringing her documents, and that was for the registering of 6 different companies that will be getting contracts from the NYS.
Do you think she's actually telling the truth? Because we're talking about you being told to open up companies by a certain individual. Wouldn't it be logical to ask companies for what? Because I believe when you're opening a company, even with Huduma Center, you have to indicate what type of company you're opening, what type of dealings you will be having with regards to that company. So do you think Josephine is actually telling the truth as regards not really knowing what her companies were supposed to do?
Well, I would give her the benefit of doubt for the reason that when she took her personal documents, and it was at that point that she was informed that these documents are to be used to register 6 different companies, she did not proceed to undertake the registration herself. Neither did she hire a lawyer herself to undertake the registration on her behalf. She left the documents in somebody's house, but she was told that they will be used for registration of various companies. And the person she handed over the documents to indeed proceeded to register the companies. So it is from that point that Josephine now proceeded to apply for and get contractual jobs at the NYS.
All right, so what's the relationship between Anwar Guru, the former CS devolution, CS for devolution? What's the relationship they previously had or might have had with, with Josephine Irungu?
Well, of course, the former CS for devolution has come out strongly to defend herself and state that she's not very familiar with Josephine. But when you look at Josephine's affidavit, she has gone to great lengths to discuss just how well she knows the Honorable Anne Waiguru. For instance, she has described how their relationship began, where while Anne Waiguru was still serving at the Treasury, long before she became Cabinet Secretary. This is about 5 years ago, when someone at the Treasury introduced her to Anne Waiguru. And at that time, she was running an IT company that was dealing with hardware maintenance. And she has described how she would repair Anne Waiguru's computers. And she has described the laptop, saying it was a MacBook that Anne Waiguru really was very particular about. She has gone ahead to describe her first visit to Anne Waiguru's house. She has named Anne Waiguru's house help, personal assistant, and even described her 3 sons, in addition to describing the house itself. So it would appear that, yes, Josephine must be knowing Anne Waiguru pretty well. Okay.
So Anne Waiguru right now has, just the other day we saw the former devolution CS, Anne Waiguru, saying, she has never met Josephine Irungu. They didn't have any relationship. And she even went ahead to say that Josephine was making false allegations. What is your take about that?
My take is, well, as per the legal standards of proof in this country.
I think even the question should be, who's telling the truth between the two?
Both of them have sworn affidavits, which have been filed before a court of law. Now, legally speaking, once an affidavit is sworn under oath, because it is administered in the presence of a commissioner for oaths, the take by courts of law is that both persons are speaking the truth as it is perceived by themselves. It will now be upon the courts of law to determine who between Anne Waiguru and Josephine Irungu on the other side has stated the truth in their affidavits.
So what are the implications they would be facing in terms of, having sworn in an affidavit to the court and perhaps given false information? What are the implications they are looking at if they are found to have lied, if either of them is found to have lied?
Yes, because there's a high possibility that one of them has declared some untruths in the affidavit. The effect of that is that whoever the court will eventually find, after a fair hearing, of course, whoever will have been found to have stated issues that are not correct will easily face a charge of perjury. The court would have the powers to institute perjury charges, because declaring an untruth or a lie, as it were, before a court of law is a criminal offense, punishable by a prison sentence of up to 7 years.
Okay, there's the Committee of Parliament investigating the NYS fraud. Ms. Waiguru appeared before that committee. Do you think that yielded any fruit towards, finding out exactly what is happening, what is going on with the NYS fraud?
I would say absolutely not, because when the Committee of Parliament met a few months ago, what transpired that afternoon, I would say, would be a very sad day for this country, because almost all the committee members attended. The chairperson of the committee for that specific sitting was not able to control the members. In fact, after about 10 to 15 minutes of the committee commencing its sittings, it degenerated into a shouting match between members of the Jubilee members of Parliament and the CORD members of Parliament, on the other hand. And it got to a point where Anne Waiguru was not even given a fair chance to explain herself, because she would be interrupted every other minute by some members of Parliament who would shoot questions left, right, and center, some not even related to the NYS issue. So the committee sitting did not achieve much.
Do you think, by the way, that perhaps the CORD party is using this as mileage, perhaps, to defame the current Jubilee government?
Well, any politician would take advantage of such a situation. And of course, CORD being the opposition and being interested in capturing the reins of power, we expect them to fully capitalize on the NYS issue. You will remember that close to a year ago, the CORD leader Raila Odinga was among the first people to talk about the NYS scandal. At that time, Kenyans were still not sure of exactly whether anything off had taken place at NYS, and Anne Waiguru went ahead to defend herself and the institution. However, you would notice that over the last few months, the CORD leadership, in particular Raila Odinga, has been very silent about the NYS issue. And he appears to be perhaps watching with glee from the background, seeing the Jubilee members, TNA and URP on the other hand, tearing themselves into pieces right before his eyes. But as for the individual CORD members of